Shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAH, QADASH, Yahawah, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one only true name is YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Greatmilstone, who will well and teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahawah Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Yahawah, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. Shalom to you, sincere brother scattered abroad, pushing forth this word of truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach, RACHAA, from the servants of YAHAWAH, Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much in this lesson, it's going to be titled as "Do not let your afflictions weigh you down." Do not let your afflictions weigh you down. All right, because you're going to go through a lot of afflictions in this truth. All right, I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. This is just a motivational lesson for you brothers out there that's going through these hardships. All right, when you come into this truth, it's a beautiful thing. It's very exciting to you individually, because you're getting the knowledge of this truth. You're understanding the true name of the Heavenly Father. You're understanding the true name of the only begotten Son. You knowing that you're an Israelite, all right, and that this Bible, which is these holy scriptures, is our heritage, all right, and it's been ours since the beginning. The Lord only dealt with us, and it's a beautiful thing. You are to keep the laws to the best of your ability and have the faith. But then, as you come into the truth and you begin to learn the truth, you begin to come more into the truth. You start going through a lot of things. This isn't, to you brothers out there, you start having a feeling like this isn't right. Something I'm doing wrong, but you're not doing nothing wrong. The reason why you're going through the afflictions that you're dealing with on a daily basis in your life is because the Lord is dealing with you, and the Lord doesn't want you to be comfortable in the truth. So he's going to put you through different situations, you individually. It might be a financial thing. It might be a mental thing. You might be a brother that's going through depression. You may feel low estate. You may be a brother that's going through anxieties. You may be a brother that's going through panic attacks. You may be a brother out there that just got a divorce. You may be a brother that just lost your house, your car. You may have lost something. You may have lost a relative, or you're dealing with family issues, or you're dealing with things at your job with your boss. You may be dealing with, somebody that you were as a friend with, and you just start having issues. Or you may be a person that have kids, your kids is stressing you out. You may be a parent that may have kids that's in their teens or in their 20s, or it may be little kids stressing you out. You going through all these different things, and you sincere sisters, you going through your issues, your situations. And among the women, they deal with a lot of depression. So you guys are going through a lot. Well, that's the Lord trying you. We're gonna get scriptures in this lesson. That's the Lord trying you, and you're gonna be, especially as you an Israelite man, you're gonna go through a lot more hell than anything. And hell is a condition of affliction that you deal with in your daily life. You're gonna go through a lot of hell, a lot of affliction. All right. Shalom to big bro Malak Amoan. Shalom, beloved. But I'm gonna get some scriptures out just real quick for edification purposes for you brothers out there. And I need this as well, because we're going through a lot, and I always direct this lesson, to myself first and foremost, not just to you brothers. Shalom also to the brothers, brother Mr. William. Shalom to you too, bro. And I pray everything is to all you want. This is Sirach 2, and I'll start at verse 1. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This is Sirach 2 and 1, and it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord," right? Because when you first get that calling, the Lord calls you into the truth. All right. The Lord does his calling. He calls you into the truth. You get called into the truth. When you first hear about this truth, whether you find it on YouTube, whether you found it on Instagram, whether you found it on Facebook, your Facebook and Instagram ain't the right necessary platforms to get the truth. But you got individuals that have found the truth that way. They may have found the truth through Instagram. They may have found the truth through Facebook or certain platforms, TikTok, things like that. That's your calling. All right. Each and every one of us individually was called into this truth a different way. Some brothers got directed into the truth by other brothers, or probably met other brothers and got directed into the truth that way. Some brothers got directed into the truth by coming across a camp. Some brothers may got directed into the truth just going on YouTube and finding the men of the Lord out there teaching. We all had our own, how can I say it, first planted seed of getting the truth. You know, we got the Lord planted that righteous fruit within us to be woken up. So let's get this truth. Get this out. Sirach 2:1, it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord." So you came to serve the Lord. You started tuning into the lessons. You started showing yourself approved. You started studying. You started learning the basics of the scriptures, right? The scriptures say in Isaiah, I think it's 28, Isaiah 28:9, right? Let me get that out really quick, Barak, just for edification purposes, right? Because when you come into the truth, you are getting weaned. You are getting breastfed. You are getting weaned, right? Get that out. The Isaiah 28 real quick. Because you are getting breastfed. Yeah, you are a grown man in the flesh, but you are a baby in the spirit, and you have to learn everything all over again. Spiritually, you got to learn everything all over again. All right. This is Isaiah 20, I say 28. And I'll start at verse 9. This is Isaiah 28 and verse 9, right? And it says, is it Isaiah 28? I think it's Isaiah 28. Probably should let me see. Isaiah 28 and 9. Oh, I'm in Jeremiah. Salaki, I'm tripping. I'm in Jeremiah. Bear with me. I'm reading Roman numerals, brothers, so it's been a minute since I used my 1611. This is Isaiah 28. There I am, in verse 9. So Salaki. This is Isaiah 28 in verse 8. It says, "For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness." It says, "so that there is no place clean." Verse 9, this is the main point. It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge," right? "And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?" And that's your calling into the truth. When you begin to learn the understanding of the basics of the scriptures, right? That's what the scriptures are saying. Verse 9, it says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine?" And I got one more precept. This is spirit with me. Salaki, bear with me. I want to get one more precept out. If not, I'll probably have one of you brothers get it out for me, so it won't be so long of me turning these pages. But when you go to we'll go to Proverbs 1 and 5 real quick, right? And then we're gonna go back. But I just want to get this understanding for brothers, right? Proverbs 1 and 5, which we're gonna get right now. Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, "A wise man will hear and will increase learning," right? And it says, "And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel." And that's what happened to each and every one of us individually. We received this truth. We got an understanding of the truth. The Lord revealed this truth to us. That's how we were able to come to the truth. So when you go to Isaiah 28 and 9, it says, "Whom shall he teach?" It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?" The Lord set that up, right? It says, "Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast." What is that talking about? Weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. All right. That's talking about the understanding of the basics of the scriptures. Because when you come into the truth, you have to literally learn everything all over again. Because before we came into the truth, we were raised under the wisdom of Esau. We were brought up under the ways of the heathen. So we didn't know how to purposely or how to righteously be as an Israelite man or woman on the earth. What we saw on TV. We thought that was what it was about, and it's not about that. It's not about that at all. All right, you had to literally learn everything all over again. So, like, I'm going off topic, but I just want to get that point out. So when you read Isaiah 28 and 9, it says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine?" It says, "Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast." So you got to learn everything all over again. Like me, I'm a 31-year-old man in the flesh, but spiritually, I'm an 8-year-old in the spirit, because I had to learn everything all over again. I had to literally learn everything all over again. I had to reset everything that I have been brought up on of this society, of this westernized society, and I had to learn everything all over again, including you brothers. We all had to literally learn all over again. So yeah, we are grown adults in the flesh, but spiritually We're 1 year olds all the way up to 8 year olds in the spirit. That's why our elders, they say that we gotta it takes time to grow in this truth, because you gotta learn everything all over again, and you gotta learn about experience. You gotta be experienced in a lot of situations. That's why the elders always tell us, it's best to learn under them and study under them, because they've been in the truth for over 40 plus years, right? And it says, verse 10, it says, for precept must be upon precept, right? Upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So you got to learn bits and pieces here and there as you grow, because you're not going to be able to just go and just learn something big. You got to start basic. You got to start from the ground up, knowing the name of the Lord. That's why every time we have an individual that join our camp, the first thing we have them go over, you may know it already. It don't matter. The first thing that we have them go over is the name of the Lord. You got to stay basic, knowing the name of the Lord, being able to break down the name of the Lord in the Hebrew. All right. Being able, once you know that, okay, go into the image of the Messiah, go basic, because you gotta get what's that? When you have a newborn baby, right? They're getting weaned from the milk, and as they become a infant baby, they go to what? Being a toddler. Then you start giving them actual food, giving them baby food, giving them little little bits here and there, and then they go to be a kid, and then they start eating actual meals. And as they grow older, it's the same thing with us in the truth. We got to go precept upon precept, little bits here and there. That's how you begin to grow as a man, grow as a man in his truth. And it says, as we begin verse 10, it says, for precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So there you go, here a little and there a little. So we have to grow as men in this truth. Now, I kind of went off topic, but that's pretty much what that's going into. This is Sirach 2 in verse 1. It says, my son, if thou came to serve the Lord. So now you understand the basics of you coming to serve the Lord. Now you being fully committed to the Lord. Long story short, now you're coming out of the worldly ways, right? The scriptures say Ephesians 4:22-25, right? You come out of the worldly ways and you put on a new man. So now you put on that new man, like it says in First Corinthians, where it goes into that new creature. Now you're coming in as a new person. So you have to learn everything literally all over again. So you come to serve the Lord, and it says, prepare thy soul for temptation. Now the cons is gonna come through it. You got the pros and cons. You got the sweetness of it, of the truth, but then it starts to become sour as you begin to get longer in your journey. It starts to get sour. I'm gonna read your brother's precepts in a minute, Salakia. But it starts to get sour. Things start going wrong. You start losing stuff. Bills are stressing brothers out. You got child support hitting you. These bills is whooping your ass. You you can pay. Let's say you pay your like me, for example. I had to pay my car note, man. My car note was $497. I had to get my registration done. That's $225. This is all in the same week. Then after that, I had to pay for my insurance to get renewed. That was $319. That's all in one. That's all in one. That's just all on one bill. All on not one bill, but three bills all on one vehicle on one car. All of that all in one week. That shit is crazy. Then you got rent coming up that same week. Then you got a light bill that's $300 something. So the Lord is gonna put you through different things, and the Lord will do that. He'll put you through a financial situation. But you can't get angry or upset. You gotta be able to know when you're being tried. You gotta be able to know when the Lord is messing, when the Lord is gonna try you. And the Lord will send Satan after you. He will send Satan after you to mess with you. Satan can hop on your woman. If you're an individual that's in the truth, I'll use myself as an example. I was married. I was Esau married. I had a wife and all of that. But what the Lord tried me, he put me through a situation where either you're gonna keep glorifying the Lord or you're gonna fall out of the truth. The Lord will have it that he could put Satan on your woman and she will leave you. It has happened. It has happened to many brothers. Your woman will leave you. She will leave you. The Lord will put you through a situation like that to try you to see if you're still going to glorify him or not. It can happen. The Lord puts us through many trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, it's just to strengthen us and to get us stronger in the truth, to be able to withstand the things that are coming. Because Jacob trouble, we all prophesy about Jacob trouble, but Jacob trouble is going to be, if we are around in that time, Jacob trouble is going to be very hard for a lot of individuals, especially those that ain't never went through anything. Like right now, all these Jakes, I'm talking about these Jakes that's in these living rich and having money and doing all these schemes. When Jacob trouble come for them, they're going to be messed up individuals. They're not going to know how to make it because they were never put into afflictions like we have. us that are going through these afflictions, it's worth it at the end of the day, brothers, because when Jacob trouble comes, Lord willing, we're going to be used to being put to a lower state. A person that has never been put in a lower state, they're not going to know how to be able to deal with that type of situation or be able to get through that type of situation. So our afflictions right now prepare thy soul for temptation. So the Lord is reminding us that we are not to get comfortable in the truth. And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. That's why the Lord put you through these different things. You may put you through, again, you may have the anxiety demon on you. You may be a Jake that got panic attacks. I deal with those things sometimes. I put myself out there. That's why we gotta pray to the Lord and we gotta fast, because the Lord will put you through different things. It can be mentally, spiritually, or physically. But to me, I believe what's the horriblest thing to me, what I've experienced, is the mental thing, being attacked mentally, going through anxieties, going through panic attacks, shit like that. Mental attacks to me is I'd rather deal with a financial situation than a mental attack. I'm just saying for me mentally. Luckily, I was able to fast for 3 days. Because when you go through a mental thing, brothers, it's very scary. Nobody can help you but the Lord. You're freaking out. You're terrified. You're scared. Nobody can help you but the Lord. That's all you can do is cry out to the Lord. Or a person that's dealing with spiritual things like paralysis, right? You're falling asleep. You can't move. You can't scream. You can't do nothing. You're just stuck. And you got spirits fucking with you, and all you can do is cry upon the Lord. The spiritual and mental shit to me is one of the most challengingest situations to be put in. But that's the Lord trying you on your faith there. So He's gonna put you through different things in this truth. And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. Let's read again because I'm rambling a lot. Salakia. Sirach 2 and 1, Sirach 2 and 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. It says, set thy heart, meaning mind upright, right? And it says, and consistently endure. That's the whole purpose of being in the truth, is enduring. You have to endure through your own afflictions. You have to endure through your own afflictions. Nobody can save you in this truth but the Lord. So you have to, whatever the trials and tribulations that the Lord sends your way, you have to endure through them. You can't get angry or upset. And I'm speaking for myself first and foremost because it's easier said than done. Temptation is a, excuse my French, it's a bitch. It really is. It says, and consistently endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Right. Make not haste in the time of trouble. Don't go and make rashful decisions, quick decisions to think you're gonna be able to make this. You make this choice here is gonna make it better. No, because you can quickly make a choice and it can make your situation worse than what it was before. So you wanna be mindful of that. That's why the scriptures give us instruction here. It says, verse 3, cleave unto the Lord, right? And it says, and depart not away that thou mayest be increased at the last end. Because the Lord isn't going to let you just fall. The Lord isn't going to let you just lose things and just think that the Lord ain't dealing with you because you're going through these afflictions. Hell no. Because Job went through it, right? Job went through it, and the Lord rewarded him what? Double at the end. He was rewarded double at the end. So everything that we're going through is basically trying us. The Lord is trying us individually. And this is the beloved brother Malak Amawan, Soywy, Proverbs 13 and 20. It says, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And that's why at the end of the day, just using a perfect example for that, that's a beautiful precept, because that's why the scriptures tell us to be around like-minded brothers. You're to be around brothers that's in the same spirit as you. You're not supposed to be around individuals that have a different spirit in you. For example, if you're a brother that's in the truth, you can't be around a person that's worldly, because when you try to feed them the spiritual stuff, they don't want to hear that. They want to do the things of the world. So you can't put yourself in a circle among wicked men. It's good to be around men that are in the same spirit as you, brothers that's in the same spirit of you. It's going to be a lot easier. Same brother, Psalms 1 and 1, it says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Right. Those ungodly people are considered unbelievers. Right. Those are wicked Israelites. They're considered unbelievers. They don't care for this truth. They don't acknowledge the truth. They just want to do the things of the world. They're considered unbeliever. It says, nor standeth in the way of sinners, see, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, right? Those that make criticism to the ministry, those that are against the truth, right? Those that don't like to hear this truth. Proverbs 23 and 4, same brother. It says, labor not to be rich. It says, cease from thine own wisdom. And that's a beautiful precept, beloved. Same brother. Proverbs 23 and 9. It says, speak not in the ears of fools. See, and this is why we don't teach this goes into that, trying to teach everybody the truth. Because everybody's not going to get it. It's not meant for everybody to get it, right? You going around just trying to preach this gospel to anybody that you see. Not everybody going to take heed to this. It says, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words, right? He ain't going to take heed to it. He's going to rebel against it, right? And this is a beloved brother. Oh, Prince Yanazar, Shalom, beloved. Tawab Yawam. I pray everything is going well for you, brother. This is Isaiah 33:6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. And that's beautiful. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. Because that's where our mind is mainly focused on right now. In this truth. It's doing the Lord's will, right? We set our affections on the things above. All right. So again, that includes, brothers, again, we're going through different things. You may have the spirit of doubt. You may be going through mental attacks, finances. We're going through a lot of shit, man. But what? That's the Lord preparing us and building us up, man. We're growing to be prepared for the things that are to come in the near future. This is Sirach 25:13. Give me any plague. You see, give me any plague. This is beautiful. Prince Yanazar, beautiful precept, brother. It says, this is Sirach 25:13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart. That heart meaning the mind. Give me any plague but the plague of the mind. You do not want that. The plague of the mind. That's what I was saying again earlier. To me, one of the most challenging and difficulties to get through is the mental attacks, the depression, the anxieties, right? The panic attacks, the depression. I said that, you know, other mental attacks. You got brothers that's even afraid of being around too many people. These are different afflictions and trials that the Lord is going to put you through to see if you're going to still glorify him or not. The Lord will put you through that type of situation. Give me any plague but the plague of the mind. You don't want the plague of the mind. It says, in any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And that's the thing. You got a lot of jakes that have lost their minds for women, right? Women left them. I heard stories. My mom told me the story about an individual a long time ago where his woman left him, and he took Drano, this shit that you use to clean the uh the water. Like, say, like, if your sink drain is like clogged, you will use Drano to pour down to deteriorate all the bacteria and all the stuff that's down there, clogged in the pipe. You use Drano to clean that shit. The individual, when his woman left him, he got so bugged out. His woman cheated on him and left him, and he found out. That dude got so bugged out, he took Drano and literally drunk it, and it ate all this right here. That's judgment of the Lord. So you don't want to have that right there. If you're not mentally strong up here, you will be that individual to be that way. But we know that that's judgment of the Lord. But my mom taught me that all the time. That story, I always took that to heart. That's why the scriptures say in Proverbs, was it Proverbs 31:3, I believe. I believe 31:3, I believe, where it says, give not thy strength unto woman, as a perfect example, because things like that. That's why, going back to that Sirach 25:13, right? Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, meaning the mind. You don't want to have a plague mind. You don't want that. That's a scary situation to be in. Same brother, 2 Corinthians 6:14, it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Beautiful precept. Beautiful precept. See, we're not to be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. If you were a Jake that was a gang member, you was a blood, or you was a grip, you can't be around those individuals no more. If you was a person that was from any type of gang, you're not supposed to be. If you come into the truth, you cannot be around those individuals no more. Because those individuals, they're still in the world. You are now coming into the gospel, so you got to put off all the worldly acts, the worldly behaviors, right? You know. So that's a beautiful precept. I'll read that again, right? It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? I'm gonna read one more precept, and I'm gonna finish up here. Finish off the precepts, beloved. Beautiful precepts, but I ain't gonna be able to read all these because I still got a couple of precepts that I want to read off for my scriptures. It's almost time for me to clock in the plantation. This is SOYWY Malak Amawan, 1 Corinthians 4:26. It says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits, right, for women. And that's a plague that the Lord can pull upon you. Again, that goes back to temptation. The Lord can a woman who you really love, the Lord can put the Satan on her, and she can leave you. You came into the truth with this woman. You really love this woman, and she winds up leaving you. You've been with this woman for 10 years, 15 years, and she winds up leaving you because you're in the truth. That can happen to you. You got individuals that if you ain't got a strong spirit, you can fall out. You can fall out for that. Or you can wind up, or you may have an individual that was in the truth, and he winds up getting married to a woman, and he winds up completely falling out of the truth. Now, I'm not going to judge an individual on that, but I'm just saying, as an individual, this can happen to you. The Lord can. This is why you got to be strong in the spirit, right? 1 Corinthians 4:26, it says, "Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes." You see that? You wind up worshiping this woman, Queen of Heaven worship spirit. So the Lord, he can put you through different things, man. He can put you through different things. The Lord can put you through different things. But Salakia, let me keep reading. This is Sirach 2 and 4. It says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully." So when you're going through these hardships, right? Whatever it is, whatever it may be, all right, whether it's with your woman, if you have a woman, I don't have a woman. So I don't have no longer those afflictions like I did back in the day. Because I don't have a woman now. The Lord set it up the way he set it up. But you brothers that have a woman, the Lord is going to try you in that. If you have a woman, the Lord knows your weaknesses and he knows where to try you. He's going to try you individually. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. He's going to put you through different things. It doesn't even have to be something physically. It can be spiritually. It can be mentally. The Lord knows where to try you individually, and you have to be able to endure through it, because that's a test. That's a test for you. Test for me too. All right. So the scriptures is telling you, it says, verse 4, Sirach 2 and 4, it says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully." So we are to endure through it cheerfully. It's easier said than done. When you're going through temptation, man, it makes you mad. It makes you vexed. It makes you really pissed off, man. It's easier said than done. But we have to do that. Right? It says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient." And that's the thing there. That's where the challenging thing is. When you're going through temptation, whether it's financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, you got to be patient through all that. That word patience goes into the Hebrew word upamane, which means consistency or endurance. So you got to be consistent through all of that. That's what makes it challenging. It's to stay consistent and be patient, even though you're going through these long sufferings and these hardships. And you brothers, you're not the only one that's going through this. I'm going through it as well. All of you brothers that's tuning into this on this comment board, that's posting scriptures, that's sincere Akim. You brothers are all going through this. And big bro, Azana Maf, Shalom. We're all going through this, man. This is our battle. This is our spiritual battle. Also going out at camp. That's a spiritual battle too. If you out there teaching at camp, you out there in the highways and byways, that's a spiritual battle. And then you gotta come home and you gotta deal with a whole nother week of torment, of suffering, of oppression. You got to go through that off camera. And I'm sure all of us is going through that right now. That affliction, right? All of us is, including me. That's why the Lord, he's given us the guidance tools in the scriptures. He's given us the instructions on how to deal with temptation. He gives us the instructions on how to deal with our women. He gives us instructions on how to deal with things mentally, spiritually, and physically. The Lord gives everything that we are dealing with in this lifetime. The scriptures have total guidance, guidelines, steps on how to be able to endure through our daily lives or what we're going through. Right? The Lord he even gave us instructions, right? He said, "Cast all your cares upon him." That's in First Timothy, I think it's 5:17, right? Or 5:16, right? Where it says, "Give all your cares upon the Lord," right? So you're supposed to cast your cares, your issues to the Lord, but we're so used to trying to just figure things out for ourselves instead of relying on the Lord to get us through it. And that's where our trouble starts. That's where the trouble starts. Verse 4, it says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." Because you're going to go through different things. That's the whole point of being in the truth. You're not going to just be able to just come into the truth and just not go through nothing at all. Everything is just going to be perfect. Hell nah. You're going to go through stuff, right? And it says, verse 5, it says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." So you're going to go through different adversities. Each and every one of us individually has our own trials and tribulations that the Lord is going to put us through. But hey, just because you're going through that don't mean that the Lord is not dealing with you. He is dealing with you, but he's trying you because you came to the truth. The moment you get a Bible, you get these holy scriptures, you decide to go out to the highways and byways, you decide to up yourself up on that video to do a lesson, whether it's in your car, whether it's at camp, Whether you just doing a sit down, the moment you put yourself on camera, the Lord is he's gonna try you off camera. That goes for me. He's gonna try you off camera. He's gonna put you through different things. But hey, those are just things to get us through, to strengthen us. Verse 6, Sirach 2 and 6, it says, believe in him. So while you're going through all of these things, brothers, including myself, it says, believe in him. So we got to believe in the Lord. We got to trust in the Lord, right? And it says, and he will help thee. It says, order thy way upright and trust in him. That's the thing. Trusting in Yahweh Shemashai through all your afflictions, through all your mental attacks, all your anxieties, all your paralysis issues. They call it so-called paralysis, but we know that that's a spiritual attack, right? So we got all these things that we're going through, but we got to put our trust in the Lord through all of that. He's going to get us through. And you can't think. You can't say, I think if the Lord is dealing with me, or I think if the Lord hears my prayers, or I wonder. No, you got to know. You got to really tell your mind and be confident and say, I know. The scriptures say, let every man esteem him above another. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. You got to be fully persuaded in your own mind to know that the Lord is with you. Otherwise than that, you're going to live in doubt, and that's gonna lead to you falling out of the truth. You don't want that. It can cause you to fall out. You had individuals that went through trials and tribulations, and it wound up causing them to fall out of the truth. You do not want to be that individual. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. That's a scary situation there, because you can bug out. You can bug yourself out if you don't have a strong spirit. And that's something I always pray for, even for you brothers, man. Even to you big bros, you brothers out there, including myself. I always pray that the Lord keeps our minds in a sound mind, right? Because to have a plague mind is scary, man. It really is, because it can lead you to falling out of truth. It can have you bug out, etc. That's why we gotta fast more, because this is coming into the time of the Passover. And every time the Passover comes, brothers, and I'm speaking for myself first and foremost, things start happening. You start seeing things happening to brothers. You know, soon as the Passover ends, you can get 2 weeks into the Passover. Something happened. Something happened to this brother. Something happened to that brother. You know, or something happens. You know, let's get this out. It's Hebrews 12 and 6. Salakia, brothers. I got like 10 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up. It's Hebrews 10 and Hebrews 12 and 6, right? And I'll start at verse 4. This is Hebrews 12 and 4. It says, ye have not yet resisted unto blood stirring against sin. Verse 5, and ye have forgotten exhortation, right? Encouragement, right? Which speaketh unto you as unto children. It says, my son, despise not thou the chastising of the Lord. So the Lord is going to put you through a different thing. He's going to chastise you. He's going to put you through things, right? It says that the Lord is telling you right here. And it says, verse 5, this is Hebrews 12 and 5. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation, which means encouragement, right? Which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastising of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So you can't get weak, right? You can't get weak, right? You can't give up. You can't just say, damn, this is too much for me. No, you have to endure through that. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost. It says, verse 6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, right? And so scourgeth every son who he receiveth. So when you come into the truth, the Lord is going to put you through different things. Again, we're like Superman right now. We have different kryptonites that the Lord know where to put us through. He know what kryptonite to mess with us in. If you're a brother to have a woman, he's gonna do that. He's gonna sin, he's gonna allow Satan to hop on your woman, and there's gonna be a lot of shit going on there. You gotta be able to endure through that. You may be a brother that's going through a financial issue. You got to be able to endure through that. You may be a brother that lost a lot of things. You got to be able to endure that. We got to be able to pray to Yahweh Shemashai, to pray that he keep us consistent in the thing, because that's where your battle is. And guess what? With temptation, you're not just going to go through one temptation and then that's it. You're going to continually have temptation. And the longer you get in your journey, the more they're going to increase. The more trials and tribulations are going to come your way. And like the elders say, this is why I always pray. I'm speaking for myself first and foremost, that we're able to continually endure through this. Because these trials and tribulations, they're intensifying by the minute, because we're at the end. So Satan is going to increase more on temptation upon us. The Lord is going to allow Satan to try us even more. You know, you know, the Lord is going to try us even more. Salakia. Verse, I'll read it again. This is verse, what's that, verse 6, right? It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, right? And it says, and so scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Verse 7, if ye endure chastising, Yahweh Shemashai dwelleth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastise not? Right. So if you're not going through nothing, and obviously the Lord isn't dealing with you, the Lord is gonna chastise those who he loves, those that who he is dealing with. When you're going through these hardships, it's not because the Lord ain't dealing with you. It's because the Lord is trying you. You put yourself up on that video to do a breakdown. You put yourself up as a living sacrifice. So the Lord sees that. He's pleased with that. But he's like, I gotta put him through something. What can I put this individual through? Something. And Satan comes. Satan, the Lord sends Satan, go and try that. Go and try my son. Try him. He's very good in the scriptures. He's very good in doing his lessons. He's very good glorifying me. He's praising me. He prays 3 times a day like I require of him. He's rehearsing the righteous act. He's being a best, he's doing the things to the best of his ability. I'm proud of that. But now I have to try my son. Try my son. And Satan goes and do it. Whatever it is. Take his woman for him. Take his woman from him and have his woman leave him and see if he gonna glorify me. And Satan goes and do it. That's mentioned in Job, the 1st chapter, even the 2nd chapter, right? The Lord will send Satan to mess with you. It can be anything. It can even be mentally. And like the brother Allah said, shout out to that brother of our camp. He said it. And where Satan likes to mess with you most, all of us, is when you're by yourself. That's where Satan likes to mess with you. When you by yourself. When you by yourself, that's where he likes to mess with you at. Start putting you through different things. Have you going through these different thoughts? Have you thinking about this, thinking about that? How should I be able to pay this? How should I be? I got a light bill coming in 2 weeks. Why are you worrying about a light bill that's coming in 2 weeks? That's 2 weeks from now. You shouldn't worry about that. You got to worry about the things now, right? Worry about right now. What can you do for the Lord right now? But you got, we go through this. These flesh, damn, we got this due in the next couple of days, 3 days from now. I got this due in 3 days. How am I going to be able to do this and to pay this bill in 3 days? Don't worry about that. Let the Lord handle that. Don't stress yourself out, brothers, for things that are 3 days from now. You're not in that moment yet. You're in the time right now. Don't fucking stress yourself out for bills that's due 3 days from now, 4 days from now. No. Why are you gonna stress yourself out about that when you're not at that moment? Worry about the things now, right? Because the scriptures even say tomorrow's not promised. So don't stress yourself out for that. You know, pray to the Lord about it. That's where the faith comes in. When you're dealing with these mental things and whatever it is that you're dealing with mentally, pray to the Lord. I'm speaking for myself. I'm no better than brother. We're going through the same thing. We're a brotherhood. We're going through the same thing. Our big bros, our elders, they going through the same stuff. I'm going through the same stuff as you. It's gonna be all right. That's why we in this together. That's why you should be talking to brothers and getting to know brothers, so brothers can be able to help uplift you and get you through it. Because being a loner in the truth and you're not fellowshipping, that's why the elder, he did that lesson saying start going down to the camps. Start getting to know brothers, start getting to talk to brothers. Because yeah, we're in the truth, we're doing these lessons, but I talk to certain brothers, brothers that's on this comment board. I talk to brothers off the phone. I talk to brothers. Brothers will tell you we talk all the time. We check on each other time to time. We say shalom to each other time to time to keep us going. You know, it's like it, brothers. I'm about to wrap this up in a little bit. So I gotta go to work at 10. It's almost time for me to get out of here. But let me wrap this up. This is verse 8. This is Sirach 2 and 8. It says, but if ye be without chastisement whereof, it says, all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. See, the Lord ain't dealing with you. If you're not going through nothing, the Lord is not dealing with you. All right? If you're not going through nothing. Now, if you're going through stuff, the Lord is dealing with you. But if you're not going through nothing and everything is just handy dandy for you, that means that the Lord ain't dealing with you. Now, I'm going to read this precept really quick. I had extra precepts that I wanted to get out, but I'm just going to end it with this right here. So I want to get this out for brothers real quick. This is First Peter. So lock it, brothers. Get that First Peter out. Get this out real quick. This is First Peter. I want to get that First Peter 5 and 9. But I'm just really quick. Get that, and I'll wrap it up with that. Well, actually, I'll wrap it up with this. This is John 1 and 2. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. Right. So we're gonna go through different temptations. We're gonna have diverse temptations. Many diverse temptations, right? It says, my brethren, count all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith, you individually, your faith, right? It says your faith worketh patience. So we gotta be patient, man, when we're going through these hardships. It's easier said than done. All right, it's very vexing, right? It puts us through a lot of situations, right? But we got to be able to endure through them. I'm gonna wrap this up with this right here, brothers. I gotta go. This is First Peter 5:9, right? Yeah, 5:9. It says, "Whom resisteth steadfast in the faith?" It says, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren, right? It says that are in the world. So we're all going through these trials and tribulations. We are all going through these afflictions, brothers. We are all going through this. You may have a brother that's going through something very similar than what you're experiencing, right? A brother could go now. We ain't gonna go through exactly the same things, but you got another brother out there in the world that's going through something very similar than what you're going through. It could be their woman. It could be something. It could be with finances. It could be mentally, right? It could be spiritually. It could be a lot of things that we go through, right? But at the end of the day, that's our trial that the Lord is putting us through, right? Then wrap it up with verse 10. It says, but of the Most High, YAHAWASHI Mashai, of all grace, who have called us into his eternal glory, right, by YAHWASHI Mashiach, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthening, settle you. See? So all of that you're going through is to strengthen you at the end of the day. It's to prepare you for the end of the day. The Lord doesn't want you comfortable. So hey, man, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. So like your brothers, I didn't get to read all your precepts. We give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of Greatmilstone who will well and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to those for the elect. And shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Mashiach, RACHAA from the servants of YAHAWAH, YAHWASHI Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And the water for the precepts, brothers, the water for tuning in this lesson. And I pray it was edifying. And I pray you brothers have a Tawab Yuwam. All right. Tawab Bawakwa, Tawab Yuwam. All right. You brothers have a good day. All right. A blessed day. Don't let these afflictions and these torments and stuff weigh you down. We're all in this together. And hey, it's going to get better at the end of this because we're almost out of this bitch, man. Shalom. Shalom.